share the link.
Yeah, no problem.
That depends on if he's got internet in his room still, right?
It's in his cave,
that's true.
His murder hole.
Yes.
His internet drops a lot.
Yes, it does.
All of a sudden, Jack's just running into the middle of nowhere. He's gone.
Spinning around.
Spinning around.
But how is he at the game?
He's better than us.
Yeah. I have a total of 4 kills in my entire career.
Oh, I had like 3 in one game. I think I blacked out. All of a sudden, I was like the one of the last people. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Jack and Jeff are like, do this. I'm like, I'm just going to sit in this corner and hope it all goes away.
That wasn't the one I watched when you were on one side of a wall.
No, that was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was there. I had died.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't remember. But those two are just like, do this and do that. And I'm like, I'm just going to stay put.
Yeah.
And hope they get tired and go away.
If you guys get really upset about Jack being a better player than you, just have his uncle go in there. He'll replace the game with something.
Jack's gonna try and play PUBG and it's just baloney. I was just about to say I wish I had a crack addict for an uncle so I had fun stories, but no, it's probably better.
It's not worth it.
I have a cracked uncle. A cracked uncle. Just doesn't even need a hold. It's just like one smashed up word, cracked uncle.
Cracked uncle.
It's not as fun as you might think.
No, I'm sure it's terrible. Eventually we'll start the show. But last night when I went to wrestling, one of the guys, a buddy of mine that I went with, who is also my tattoo artist, was telling us, so he works at a shop with a girl who was on Ink Master, and she was trying to like rekindle a relationship with a good friend of hers who had done some time because she was really into heroin. So this girl was at Melissa's house and was basically like, hey, let me in. And Melissa's like, yeah, no, you're not. We're just not going to let you in. So she found out that when this girl would stay with Melissa, she would stay there because Melissa would just leave money laying around. Oh, so she would just go and pick it up. So she would take 40, 50, 60 bucks at a time to do drugs. So Melissa kicked her out and on this specific night, and she woke up the next morning and the chick's car was like in the ditch and her truck was gone. So the girl stole her truck, and while she was getting out, because this was like a couple weeks ago, she hit a snowbank and put it in 4-wheel drive and was driving around for like hours while the cops were trying to chase her.
Oh, God.
In 4-wheel drive. So she fucking stole the car, like wrecked the transmission of the car. They eventually found her doing heroin in the truck. And I guess she couldn't find a vein, so there's just fucking blood everywhere. I'm like, I don't know Melissa at all. I've met her like once, but I was like, that sucks no matter who you are to have to do that.
Yeah.
And then of course your deductible is so high it's not enough to pay to get the blood out.
You just get a new truck at that point. Oh God. Is Jack coming?
Dude, let him have his privacy.
Nothing on my phone.
Jack, are you coming yet? I suppose we can start. Corey, I brought beer today. Are you proud of me?
Oh, yay. I brought tea.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Well, I said something to Kevin, and he's like, well, I got this for the first 20 minutes, and then I'm going to switch to this. And I'm like, slow down.
If you're getting the talk about excessiveness from Ash,
it wasn't like a slow down, you're drinking too much.
Well,
it was
Kevin, maybe you don't need an uncle that's on crack. Maybe you yourself are the family member that everybody's worried about.
I mean, I am, but that's unrelated.
It's okay. We love you here.
Thank you.
For like the next hour. Then you got to go.
I won't tell Corey what the drink is yet.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait. So I'm going to actually start the recording. I'm not like Jack. I warn you, and then we start, and then it goes off rails very quickly, and I edit none of this.
Good.
So just the only time I've ever edited anything out was someone made a comment about the French, and then a couple days later, there was an attack in France.
That's fair.
Yes, that was the
very
only.
big of you.
I did it more for him. I didn't care about me or us.
Yeah.
As I recall, I'm the one who said maybe we should cut that out.
Yeah, Corey was definitely the voice of reason. Oh, speaking of,
because I was the one who was sober.
That's true. Matt and I were pretty drunk that night. Corey, do you want to do a quiet place next week? It's Brandon, and that was his pick. But excuse me, I said I had to ask you because you'd have to go to a theater and see it. I've already seen it.
My wife is actually going to see it tomorrow. I don't know if I'm invited to go or not.
Well, I mean, it's up to you.
I will let you know. If not, just do the show without me, man. If you guys want to do a quiet place, do a quiet place.
No, fuck your couch.
That's what I might be doing instead.
Wow. I just had a visual of you humping your couch.
You haven't seen my couch.
I haven't seen your ass either, but I thought of it. Okay. Then at the end, I'll just announce that Brandon's on our guest next week. We don't know what the fuck we're watching. It'll be a surprise. Christmas miracle. Okay. Welcome to episode 124 of the Podcast Terror production of the Galactic Network. For more on this podcast, including show notes, contact information, subscription links, go to gncast.com/pot. I'm your host, Matt Stein. With me, as always, is Corey Little Dick Scott. Corey, how are you?
Teeny,
tiny, weeny, whiny. Our guest this week is advertising something or other for a fancy TV network. He wasted a bunch of money going to film school with previous guest and friend of the show, Jack McCone, Kevin Long Dong Howard. How are you?
Doing great. How's everybody?
I really wish I would have had the party horns line up. It would have been like, Kevin Long Dong Howard. Bah, 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 and then...
Is that what you're calling me Tiny Dick? Is it just a comparison thing?
Yeah.
Kind of, because I had come up with a name to call Kevin Long Dong like earlier this morning, and I'm like, I'll just call Corey Tiny Dick. Because it's not false.
It really isn't.
We're not lying.
I was in the pool.
Is it cold out?
No, it's really not.
Oh. Hey, I don't know about Kevin. I know he's like perpendicular, but it's warm here. How's the weather by you?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I said your name.
You said you were perpendicular, which sounds
trying to figure out perpendicular. It's like 60 degrees here, which is nice. It's been 38 to 44 for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
I've California Corey over there.
Yeah, it's in the it was in the 80s yesterday, and it's probably like the high 70s today. I despise it. I've got the air conditioner on behind me and a fan in front of me, and I'm just like still dying. So
well, that's why your hair is blowing?
No, I'm naturally windswept.
That's good. Everywhere Corey walks, just his hair shimmies.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, I guess, what do you want to say about yourself other than your penis length, girth?
I mean, honestly, what else is there?
I don't know. We play video games together. This is probably the most I've ever talked to you one-on-one without Jack and Jeff like telling us to shut up and play.
Yeah, that is how I know you. It's through Jack.
Yeah, we're trying to start a streaming channel of PUBG. We're going to call it A Mighty Faggot because singular, we are weak sticks, but together we form a mighty faggot.
I get it.
You just got that now?
Yes,
were you not there the day that I came up with it?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I haven't been on a lot lately. I'm sorry.
This was a long time ago, and I'm very surprised that I still remember it. That
might have been before me.
No, you're definitely there because you were our fourth. You were our fourth to that mighty faggot.
Sure, I had died already.
So do you just die and then like get up and walk away? Like they won't even know I'm
gone.
I
sit and watch, but I might be on my phone or something.
Fair enough. I like to eat pretzels.
I'm kind of afraid of Jeff, and if he gives me some kind of gaming advice and I miss it, like I don't want to deal with that.
Totally the same way. I'm like, how are you so good?
I don't know how he does it.
I don't know either.
Mad respect, but
yeah, I have like the attention span of a child. So it's like, oh, I did really good. What did I do? There's a squirrel. And then
I can't even like see the other people I'm supposed to shoot, and then I'm like, oh, I'm down.
Yeah, and a lot of times Jack's like, you missed all this shit, and I just want to be like, I'm fucking just like running around, just hoping to sweet Jesus that I can find a fucking helmet. Like, just be happy I'm still here.
Oh, and when they die before me, so they can like watch my screen, and Jeff will be like, wait, are you doing the menu thing? No. Do it the other way.
Yeah, he's like, you can press start and loot a lot quicker. And I'm like, yeah, no. What's that?
He has to tell me the buttons. It's like, put your gun away, put your gun away, put your gun away. You'll run faster. Okay.
Do you know how long it took me to figure out which button it was to equip a grenade? And then he's like, throw it underhand. And I'm just like, okay. And I still throw it overhand because I don't know how to switch. Oh, man. I hope they don't listen to this and find out all of our secrets.
Never.
I think
I'm not surprised at all that you are really bad at games. Like, I know that you play games a lot, Matt, but I just never would have thought that, oh, Matt's probably good at this. No.
I play on easy. I play for the experience, man. I don't want to, I don't like things to be difficult. I'm a white male.
This show proves that.
Yes. The amount of editing I do in this show is definitely explanation of how I like to live my life. Very easily.
Yeah.
So I live in Wisconsin and I'm white.
Yeah, you just press a couple of buttons and hope it works out, kind of like your wife.
Yep.
And
sometimes I just kind of beep boop beeper and I'm like, are you done yet?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Have you started yet?
Usually I'm done at that point. So then I just eat some pot roast and go to sleep. That would rejuvenate my health.
Man, if sex led to pot roast, I might actually be having sex.
I would just skip sex and go straight to the pot roast.
That's true.
That's not, who doesn't love a good fatty piece of beef?
Well, I prefer that pot roast, but
I see what you did there. All right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Corey.
Now, I probably wouldn't have imagined that Jack was good at the game either, just because it's Jack. But I feel like he probably needs it more. Yeah. Like he needs to be successful at it. The time he's having right now.
He's good at learning and remembering. Me, if I play it the first time and I don't get it, I'm never going to get it. So if the buttons are not like normal to other games, just forget it. But he'll actually be like, oh, I should have done it this way. And then next time he'll remember, do it that way.
See, I could see him being, I know Jack's smart. I don't take issue with that. I question maybe his reflexes.
It depends how drunk he is.
Yeah. Or just his ability to have success. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I love Jack. I love Jack.
So do I, but
me too.
It's always, I always enjoy when I get a text from Jack at like 10 o'clock my time, which I am an hour behind you guys, and he's just like, I'm super drunk on my own from the bar who wants to play PUBG. Like, motherfucker, go to bed. Like, try that. Drink some water and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I did suggest that he live stream his next Saturday night.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What is that? 2 weekends in a row he's ended up in weird places?
I didn't hear about this weekend, but last one.
So I think he's going to be on in a couple weeks, so we'll have to remember.
Yeah, save it for that.
Tell that story. But he posted a picture on Twitter. I believe it was a game that he wanted to play called "Is It Beer or Piss?" and it was just a mug of a yellow substance. I'm like, God damn, dude! Like I just want to party with Jack sometime. That would probably end pretty well.
I don't even want to party, but I definitely want to be around Jack a lot.
Yeah. Cool stuff just happens all the time.
I can't tell if you're being serious or
no,
not.
I am. So, no, something funny always happens when you're with Jack.
Is that because Jack's life is a comedy of errors, or?
I think so. He's just, you know how he is. He's so quick.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like he'll just say the right thing back to somebody, and then that triggers the event, whatever that may be.
Jack, let's get an apartment together, please. I know he's not here. I just left him time to answer to himself out loud on the train while he's listening to this on his way to work on Tuesday morning or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jack and I should probably live together because we're both having shit luck. And it's like the two south ends of magnets, like trying to go near each other and they just keep pushing away.
Are you guys just going to press buttholes?
But maybe.
I thought that's what the south end of magnets were.
That's certainly a luck improvement.
Whose bean accepts whose? Who's top bean? Who's bottom bean?
I don't even know what that means. Where's a bean coming into this with a butthole? What's in your butt, Matt?
Stuff.
Okay.
My things I need to keep safe.
Yeah.
Do you not use your butthole for safekeeping?
For storage, like when you're taking apart a laptop at work and you got to put those screws somewhere.
Why do you have screws in your butt? That's gonna hurt.
Not at first.
Unless you walk through a big magnet, it's just gonna rip screws through your intestines.
It's like someone stuffing a finger up there and they have one of those press-on nails, and then it comes off, and then it's gonna work its way through your whole system until it scrapes its way out of your urethra.
Corey, are you old enough to have been fingered?
I saw a really interesting picture of Tom Green and Andy Dick the other day.
Yeah, I saw that too. Have you had your butthole fingered?
Not today.
Okay, great. So I'm not to that age. Kevin, I'm not even sure how old you are. You look very young.
I look younger than I am.
Well,
I am younger than I should be for the doctor doing that. But one time...
Oh, you've had...
Oh, we're talking medically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, Corey. I don't care if you get your butthole fingered on a Saturday. That's up to you.
That's what I was wondering. No, I medically, no, that it's not come up yet.
Oh, okay. So I have a very, very good friend of mine had some issues, and they couldn't figure out what it was. So the doctor's like, well, we're going to do a prostate exam. And I remember him explaining this to me, and he's like, yeah. And at one point, he just stuck his hand around, and he goes, I'm doing this. And dude was like, man, just stop. Just like finish what you're doing and stop.
Don't describe it.
Yeah.
Don't give me a visual. I don't need a fucking puppet show in front of me at the same time.
Yeah. Don't know.
Don't tell me how to get to Sesame Street, you asshole. Just fucking do what you need to do and get out.
Exactly. And I was just wondering if that had either happened to either of you, and now we're looking only at Kevin because Corey has not medically been penetrated.
Yeah, there was no medical reason for him to be doing this. And it was awful. And I was so angry at him for the whole rest of the visit.
There was no medical reason for him to be doing this. It was just pure pleasure.
Yeah.
You were finger raped in the butthole by a doctor without your consent?
I mean, he told me he was doing it.
But why? Like, what did you like? Hey, my foot hurts. And he's like, well, drop your pants. We're going in.
Did
he tell you he was doing it so you would notice? Was he worried you didn't know?
No, he told me. He told me really on in the.
Before you do, are you cool talking about that?
Not really.
Like 15 people are going to hear this around the world. So.
All the better. Go ahead.
No. I truly forget what was wrong with my stomach, but at the beginning of it, he listed that as one of the ways he would figure it out. So for the whole rest of the exam, so when he's taking the blood pressure, I'm just like, okay,
you're
it's gonna be
sobbing.
off the charts.
Oh, you're just farting Vaseline bubbles.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
When he gives you the list of ways that he's going to check, did you just say, can you make sure that one's way, way down at the fucking bottom?
And all I could do was go, I'm going to pee, I'm going to pee, I'm going to pee.
Well, it's better. You know what you should have done? You should have listened and be like, oh my God, I'm coming. You probably would have.
You should have just turned around and just forced yourself.
And then he just hands me a box of tissues. And for the whole rest of the visit, I'm just really angrily looking at him.
You know what would have been awesome if he just handed you tissues and cab fare and just been like, clean yourself up and walked out.
And if he, as walking out, he's just like, and your doctor will be in a second.
I feel kind of bad like making jokes about this because that probably wasn't that cool, but
I really didn't
what
like
can you
it.
do with it otherwise?
But
what is your...
What am I going to do? Keep it to myself?
Right.
There's no value in it.
You should have shown us on the puppet. But I guess puppets are probably what you already feel like in this case, so...
Yes.
Oh, man.
When he did it, did he go bork, bork, bork?
Oh, no.
So he looked like I forget the character's name on The Sopranos. It was the older Jewish guy who was also like a record producer.
Start watching that show, so I cannot answer this for you.
You've seen him in other stuff probably, and he just had one of those like New York doctor voices, and he was very professional about it. But
sounds like Larry David,
kind of, but just like deeper and gruffer.
Yeah, none of those people from The Sopranos were ever typecast at all.
Jerry Adler?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, I Googled The Sopranos old Jewish guy, and the first video that came up was The Sopranos, you old fucking Jew. And I'm like, oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to hell. Huh. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
And then there's some like little boy with a weird hat on, like fucking 3 lines down.
Now I'm thinking of, did you guys ever watch Friends?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, there was the episode of Friends, one of the earlier episodes, so it was when it was still good, where Joey sent Chandler to his family's tailor to get a suit tailored, and the tailor like went up his inseam and then grabbed his package and moved it around a bit. And Chandler's all pissed off, and he comes back and he's telling Joey about it. I was like, your tailor is a bad man. and Joey's like, no, that's how you do pants. Ross, tell him that's how you do pants. And Ross is like, yeah, that's how you do it in prison. And it's just like, now all I can think of is like every time you watch anything with Jerry Adler in it, it's just gonna make your butthole clench up, and I don't know, sing the Rainbow Connection or something.
Well, the tailor is supposed to say, are you dressing to the right or to the left?
Right.
That's the rule.
I don't know what that means.
He's asking, which side should I not touch?
Yeah. And the doctor is like, there's no side I'm not touching. What is the question in that case? Are you a dabber or a scraper?
I dressed both sides.
Then you gotta get that checked out.
I have 2 penises.
Right. And 1 ball.
And 1 ball. Well, I have 2. It's just only 1 works.
What's the other one do? Is it just decorative?
It's just there.
I feel like we talk about this a lot, and I need a visual.
I love you dearly, but I don't really like you enough to just show you my balls.
Well, when we finally meet the next time, I'm gonna just Trump check you and reach my hand out.
You could. I mean, it's like it's in there.
Wow, that's permission.
Fucking as I'm just grabbing my nutsack right now to figure this one out. No. I mean, the other one's hiding. Like, you really got to get up in there to find it. It's so Kevin.
That happens sometimes too. When it just kind of like abandons. It goes back into the cave. It's like, nope, I don't want to deal with the world today, and just goes up in you.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like, if you have 2 eggs, one with a yolk and one without, the one with the yolk is definitely going to hang lower because there's more weight.
Yeah, one of your eggs floats and the other one.
So one of my eggs essentially does not have a yolk, so it's just kind of there, and it's all protected by a scrotum.
Doesn't sound like
he's that well drawing my nutsack.
Man, if there's ever a time when people need to see the video for this show, that was a beautiful moment. Because you were just so not self-conscious of it at all. You just like, here's my hands, and here's the shape I'm making, and the beep, 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 beep.
Yep. So Kevin's not so out of the loop, and Beatmaster agreed. Beatmaster enjoyed watching my nutsack drawing. So Kevin, I was born with a hernia, so I had one nut that didn't do anything, and like when I turned 18, and someone was talking about their balls, and I was like, oh my god, one of mine is like 3 times the size as the other. I need to get this looked at. And a doctor's like, well, just one is doing absolutely nothing for you. It's there.
Yeah.
It's like most teenagers right now. It just kind of exists. So it's like one's normal and one is like the size of when you're born, essentially. I didn't know that was weird.
Oh, like a baby ball.
Yeah, I have a baby ball. Thanks for putting it that way. But I didn't know that was like not normal.
Just look like it came.
Why would you?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't just go around touching other nutsacks a lot.
Yeah, and if you find out in Boy Scouts, then you got a bigger problem.
I had I was trying to think of a name for like a scoutmaster. Like Mr. Stevenson said I was his favorite little camper. This is why I drink now.
But every time you pitch a tent, it's lopsided.
Well, it's just that my center pole is just kind of doing its little hook to the side. You just got to balance it correctly.
Yeah, depending on what angle you go in at, that's actually probably a good thing.
I just kind of like stand to the side and like turn. I just pivot my hips. So Pete asked if it was the rare case where I hadn't seen enough porn. Honestly,
yeah, but he had an eye patch on, so he was only getting half of it.
Yeah, I fast forward through like the up close ball shots because a penis is terrifying, a vagina is worse, and a penis in a vagina at like 2 inches away is terrible.
I was raised on softcore porn, and I feel like that's all I ever needed. Anything beyond that is a little bit too much spitting and choking for me.
Well, and then the internet happened, and now all of a sudden I need a woman in 6-inch red stilettos to step on a ball while spitting on someone.
I don't need a Trojan GoPro. That shit fucks me up.
So I got a VR headset for my computer, and
where is this going?
If you guys want to take a stab at the number of days it took for me to try and look up pornography on that thing,
0.
I had to wait for my wife to be gone long enough.
Exactly.
To a point where I was like, she's, it's not going to just happen.
2
But
days.
turns out it's really not that easy to do on a computer because it's a Windows mixed reality one. So you like open it up this house. So it's like you can bring up a Chrome browser in your Windows mixed reality house, but turning your head doesn't turn the video. So moral of the story is if you're gonna look up porn on YouPorn in VR, you need one of the phone headsets because that can use the accelerometer to be able to look around.
Yeah.
I like to look at the man's belly button. No shit.
That's where all the action is the man's belly button. That's what Ron Jeremy was known for, was that
his
big
belly button
hole in his fucking stomach.
But you can look around if you watch the video in a browser, you can just click and drag the video around. So I
have the Google VR headset for my phone. And
block off your Tuesday night, my buddy.
No, thanks.
Go to town.
I'm going to be doing worse than porn. I'm doing a show with Brandon and Nate. But
I'd rather watch porn.
Thank you. There's a bunch of apps like the HBO app and I think the Netflix app. They're VR apps, but it's like what you described. You're sitting in a fucking room or a theater looking at a screen to watch this thing. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Why did anybody design this? Like, oh, great. This is the one thing I miss about the movie theater experience is the fucking theater around me.
Yeah.
I don't need this. Nobody needs this, yet someone fucking designed it and someone else copied it. It is the biggest dumb shit fucking Silicon Valley full of yourselves crap load that I can't even fucking think who motherfucking came up with it.
Corey's been triggered.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Plex came out with that too, where you can watch anything on your Plex library in VR. But they took it one step further. You can watch it with your friends. So if I have a VR headset and you two have one, we can all sit in one virtual room and watch it together like fucking losers.
But do we see each other in the loser room?
Yeah. We would all be sitting. We'd be sitting on one.
Is it in our avatars?
I don't know. I haven't set up my avatar yet in Plex, but now I feel like I have to. I mean, I could probably look this up, but busy playing.
Because you need to have something that's going to capture you to make that happen. I just
a big penis.
Yeah, don't fucking insert me in a room. Nobody's virtual reality wish is a fucking room to sit in because that's what we're already doing.
Beat said you could look at someone else's belly buttons in the theater.
Yeah, that's just go and like toss popcorn at the person behind you and like, hey, can I retrieve that? No, don't put your shirt up. Just sit there and let it happen.
But think about it though. Like I know, and eventually we'll talk about Pitch Black. This is not that moment yet.
No.
But think about like I don't know if either of you saw or read Ready Player One. I know it's like the hotness right now, but think about in the future where you basically just put on like a fucking suit and you go do whatever you want. What's to say that people won't virtually go to a theater to watch a movie with each other?
Right, but I'm not going to virtually go out to the street, get in my car, and drive to a virtual theater while I'm on my couch this whole time. Like, I just want the movie to play.
That's true.
And I haven't read the book or seen the movie, but my guess is the idea of doing that where you go to the theater in this virtual reality thing is because theaters like that don't fucking exist. And so you're creating this alternate reality or virtual reality where you can experience something that you wouldn't be able to experience normally. But I have the experience of sitting in my room watching HBO. I don't need to put another fucking room between me and that fucking screen. I want to be right up front to Jason Momoa's nipples. That's where I want to be, HBO.
Who is Jason Momoa? Oh, all right. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Now you get it.
Oh. He is swarthen.
Yes, he is. There were a lot of people I could have picked from Game of Thrones, but I feel like I couldn't go wrong with
that was a good
Momoa.
one.
I only know him as Aquaman. Is he Aquaman?
He is Aquaman.
Okay. He also wants to play Kratos in a God of War movie.
Is that the guy with the red thing? Like the main,
yes,
main guy?
Yeah. That's I bought the new game on Friday and I have been unable to play it.
You gotta wait for your wife to leave the house again?
No, I got it Friday at lunch, and then I went to Milwaukee for band practice, and then I got home at midnight, and then I woke up and I drove to Sheboygan to pick up beer, and then I came home, and then I went and watched wrestling, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and then I got groceries, and then my parents came over, and then I took 4 goddamn hours to change the fucking faucet, and now here I am. Oh, there's more in there. I tutored someone.
Google probably thinks you want a virtual reality experience of all that bullshit.
I'd like to virtual reality changing a faucet so that it sucks in virtual and in real life.
Have either? I mean, after my wife played The Sims for 9 years, I guess I can't speak too much about that, but still.
Have you ever changed a faucet?
I tried.
Yeah.
It was a shower head at my parents' house, and it was early enough I realized I can't do this.
See, that's easy. So
yeah, shower heads are not
terribly
that's
super easy.
You just got to remember to put that fucking tape on there.
Put Teflon tape on. This was like our kitchen faucet, and the old one, we thought they changed it out right before they sold this house. They didn't. This thing was fucking 10 years old, and I'm pretty sure it was soldered. There's like a nut that holds that middle faucet piece on, and it took my dad and I 75 minutes to get a nut off of a 4-inch nipple.
Did you guys bond?
Oh, we swore a lot. And
you and your dad in an enclosed space trying to get a nut off?
Yeah. Oh, god damn it, Corey. It's my dad. It's my dad.
You can have my dad for this joke. That's fine.
I only need one nut, of course.
Yeah, we only need one. I don't know if my dad knows I'm all one ball over here.
That didn't go in the Christmas newsletter to the family.
No.
Jingle ball.
If he's ever like, when are you guys gonna have kids? I'll be like, I don't know, Dad. You only gave me one working nut over here.
Seriously, what are you working with? This is what I wound up with.
Beat, I don't know. So Beat asked if it was a small nut or a regular sized nut. I don't know if he's making a jizz joke or this is a legitimate question. But the real answer is it was a really thin nut. And there was like copper pipe coming down too. So eventually I got real pissed and I just went and got a tin snips and cut all the copper pipe away. Oh, it was a dick joke.
Just created more work for yourself.
Not really. And then we had WD-40. It was a whole project. It was a thing, but eventually I got it switched out.
If only there were people that you could hire to come do that for you.
Yeah. My old man is stubborn as the fucking day is long, and he would never ever. He wouldn't have like tapped out and been like, call a plumber. It's not. This is the same man who one time I asked him to help me hook up a water line on our old fridge at our old house. He couldn't do it, so he just went and bought me a new refrigerator. Yeah. He's like, oh, it's Sears open. I can't get this thing to work. Let's go fucking buy a new one. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Now, I do appreciate somebody who knows their shit enough to like maybe a little bit too much to that they're still kind of dangerous in it, but that there is the. Like you were saying, teenagers are a fucking waste. I don't necessarily agree with you, but you're probably right. Is that
it was a joke,
like,
a generalization joke.
Yeah, but there are the people who can do shit and accomplish things, and then there's people like me who, like, my gutter is falling off the front of my fucking house. I don't know what to do about it. I don't even know a fucking ladder. So that's just gonna fall on me at some point. But if it was my dad, shit would be fixed.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle. I can do some things, but I would much rather do nothing at all.
Yeah.
I know that's why I'm like, I'm really excited it's summer, and then the other part of me is like, that means yard work. I'm like, we can go back to winter now. It's just so much of it. I guess we could talk about Pitch Black. We've talked about my nuts, Kevin's butthole.
Yeah.
Corey, your butthole and your nipples.
Not my nipples.
Well, let's talk about your nipples then.
They're small but mighty.
So, like a frozen Mike and Ike?
Yes, exactly.
Strong. the structural integrity of your
I
nipples.
prefer a good and plenty, but I get what you're going for.
See, licorice. I prefer. What does good and plenty even taste like?
Licorice.
Licorice. It's disgusting.
It is really gross. Black and X are way better, but I just wanted to show that I knew what you're talking about.
I know candy too. You can buy 1 pound good and plenty licorice candies.
Actually, all things considered, I'd rather have hot tamales.
Yes, I was going to say it, but
that's just cinnamon. It just tastes like burning.
Yeah.
Yes, delicious.
Delicious burning. So my coworker and I got Listerine strips for our desk, and he came in with ones. Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, that was really hot, Kevin. You should do that all the time.
As hard as a diamond in an ice storm right now.
If I was your doctor, I would be so up in you right now.
Now I know when the doctor fingered you, you started making faces at him. So to fuck with my coworker, I would just take his Listerine strips and just put like 3 in my mouth at once, because he's like, you're gonna hurt yourself. The Cool Mint ones are fine, but then we got the hot heat ones, and I put 2 in, and I just burnt the entire inside of my mouth. All the taste buds were dead. I couldn't feel anything for like a month. So cinnamon candy scares me, is the moral of the story.
I mean, I always wonder. What were they called? The atomic warheads?
Oh no, not the hot ones. I've done
it was the sour ones that did it to me.
Yeah, they would just fucking ruin your mouth.
Yeah, for a week. The roof of your mouth is just in shreds, hanging down.
Yep. What's worse, an atomic warhead or Captain Crunch?
I've never had Captain Crunch in my life.
Or what if you side bite a Dorito?
Oh my god! So
man, I'm
sorry. It goes into this.
Yeah, he goes right into right there.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, eating a chip, like chip shrapnel, like getting stuck in the roof of your mouth, or now maybe neither of you guys ever empty your dishwasher. I don't know, but going to empty your dishwasher and fork tong under your fingernail.
Oh shit! Yeah. That was literal torture. That's bamboo shoots.
Yeah. Yep.
Like anytime I go to a Chinese restaurant and they've got bamboo shoots as part of their recipe, I'm like, are you trying to fucking kill me? What is this place? I will shut you down.
I never even thought about that. Bamboo shoots aren't bad eating them. I like the little corns. And I feel like Godzilla just eating corns.
Because that's what Godzilla does. Like, yeah, sometimes I destroy Tokyo, but other times I go back, I visit the family.
I eat corn.
You know, we're Native Americans, so no one knew that about me being Godzilla.
Shut up, guys. I had a long day. I suppose we should find out what Kevin's drinking, because I just finally saw him take a drink.
Oh, that was just water because my ice melted a little bit.
Oh, you're just finally doing this?
Yeah, I wanted to open it on camera. Oh. This is in honor of the movie. It's Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
So your teeth are going to hurt here pretty quick?
You actually can't get this on the East Coast, but they did a special Walking Dead tie-in a couple of months ago. So I was actually involved with the production of these special labels. We got Rick, Michonne, and Daryl. And as a result, I actually got a bottle of it. Otherwise, I don't even know where to get this. So I've never actually...
So how old is this bottle of soda? Because I didn't see a lot of carbonation over there.
It's pretty flat. You started selling around Labor Day and stopped around late October. So it's more than 6 months old. I
like the fact that it's Daryl instead of Merle, because Merle would never allow himself to be something that's called Pitch Black.
Absolutely not. This is kind of good. It's very, very flat.
It's a grape.
Ish.
Grape-ish.
Yeah. I would call the flavor purple, not grape.
Right. Well, purple drink is way better than grape drink anyways.
I gotta look at this Pitch Black flavor.
Yeah, so there's man, when I was a kid, Mountain Dew was just Mountain Dew, and you had it with Doritos because you smoked weed or something. I didn't, but I had long hair, and so I developed a taste for it. Anyway, little known fact: if you have long hair and listen to metal in the 80s, you drank Mountain Dew. It's just the fact.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting to the bottom of this.
Believe me, I don't understand the chemical reaction of it. Something with Aquanet and the need for high carbonated orange juice, but it's true. So and they started doing like Code Red and all these other flavors and stuff. And you can't go to Taco Bell without having like a 15 different Mountain Dew drink availabilities, or like all the times at 7-Eleven. It's like, here's our new Mountain Dew Slurpee. Which Mountain Dew is it? It's Mountain Dew Fuck Your Ass. Well, that sounds really nasty. Doesn't matter. It's a Slurpee. You're going to drink it.
Yeah, they did Game Fuel for one of the Halo releases, I think.
I think all of the Halo releases.
And a couple different ones for, I think, World of Warcraft. Like the mana drinks or something. And I just, like, I have, behind me, actually, I still have the bottle from the Mountain Dew Dew Shine, which just sounds like Mountain Dew Douche. But it was pretty good. It was solid. And now there's this Mountain Dew Ice, which tastes nothing like it, but looks exactly the same. It's like a lemon lime soda. And I feel like they've tried too many things, and you just want to get back to the fucking basics. Also, because I had a bad experience with some Smurfberry Crunch when I was a kid, I wonder if that stuff you're drinking is going to make your poo turn blue.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I ate the Black Whopper just to see if my shit would turn purple, and it did.
Did it?
It did. So there's a whole Wikipedia dedicated to Mountain Dew, which I think is a little insane, but where the fuck? Come on, internet. Here. So the main flavors are Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, Code Red, Livewire, which is the orange, Baja Blast, Voltage, Whiteout, and Pitch Black. Then the other flavors with the Kickstart, the Spiked, Black, White, and Green label, Throwback, Caffeine-Free Mountain Dew, Caffeine-Free Diet Mountain Dew, and Diet Code Red. Discontinued Mountain Dew Red, Revolution, Supernova, Distortion, Typhoon, Darkberry, Pitch Black 2, and Doritos.
Oh, no.
Doritos.
Yes.
Then there's the Game Fuel. There's an energy one in the UK, Grape in Japan, Max Air Japan, Adrenaline Poland, Extreme in the Middle East, and Passion Fruit Frenzy in New Zealand. But then there's also the Dew SA, and now my mom brought over Mountain Dew Ice, which is just like Sprite, Mountain Dew Sprite.
Yeah.
There's like, I think they've taken it a little too far.
They absolutely have. I like the throwback, especially in glass bottles, because it's got actual sugar. And I like Mountain Dew in glass bottles because that's what I grew up with. But I've enjoyed Code Red from time to time. It's probably been about 10 years since I actually drank it. And the orange one was okay. But some of the flavors just got really fucking strange. It was just a little too far. Like, someone at Mountain Dew was just, go see what that cat's looking over there in the corner. Let's see if we can make a Mountain Dew flavor out of it.
Just next week, they're going to come out with a Mountain Dew carpet vomit.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that was probably one of the Baja Blasts.
Did you not like Baja Blast?
No, I didn't really enjoy it.
You're a Code Red type of man like me.
I'm a Mountain Dew purist. Although I did drink my one of my best friends when she was pregnant. We were both Mountain Dew drinkers, but she couldn't have caffeine. So that was around the time that they introduced Mountain Dew caffeine free, and we both drank it. And I was perfectly fine with that because I don't drink Mountain Dew for the caffeine. I'm that one person who drinks it for the taste.
Right. It was the caffeine that was the problem for her.
At that point in time, yes.
When you kept talking about how you're the only one that drinks Mountain Dew for the taste, all I could think of was Rip Torn. Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? No, but it's sterile and I like the taste.
30 Rock.
Fucking Dodgeball.
Yeah, Dodgeball. But
never seen
from Rip Torn was in 30 Rock.
Go. Take a note.
I am.
Oh man. Okay, so here's the answer to Corey's question. Our bass player, Ken, very, very, very good friend of mine, is literally the most hesh metal dude I've ever known. He's got some years on me. So he was like in high school in the 80s. So I asked him if he had long hair, because he still has long hair to this day. He had long hair in the 80s, and I said, "Did you eat Doritos?" And he just said, "Probably." So thanks for fucking nothing, Ken.
Like at all?
Doritos was less of a thing. I was hanging out with a friend. We went over to his cousin's place. His cousin was a redneck level that isn't often in Michigan, but certainly not unheard of in our parts. And we go in there, and he's like, "Hey, I'm getting a pop. You guys want a pop?" Which in Michigan, that's what they call soda.
Yeah.
It's weird. And I said, "Well, it depends on what kind you have." And he says, "You got long hair, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You listen to metal?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Then it's a goddamn Mountain Dew, isn't it?" Like, well, holy shit, because he was fucking right.
Yeah.
And I did not like Mountain Dew at all until I grew out my hair and was listening to metal. It just like anytime you would put that stuff in front of me, like that looks like piss. No, thank you. But as soon as I was listening to shit like Dokken and stuff, it's like I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I don't know why. Chemical reaction in the brain.
See, Beat thinks that Doritos are more thrash metal, which,
well, now
is Dokken's not thrash metal, are they?
It's yes, like, Dokken is the most thrash metal band ever.
I don't know if I don't know. Oh, glam metal, heavy metal, hard rock. So Ken was like Slayer. Like Ken slept outside of an arena to get Metallica Black Album tour tickets.
Right, but you gotta remember, dedication. I'm mid early '80s, and what counted as metal back then definitely does not count as metal anymore. But it was what we had. Right. It was the MTV era of metal of like you have to be somewhat attractive and be in a video or be pre-established like a Dio or an Ozzy or something. You know, you get grandfathered in, but realistically, we're looking at Cinderella. We're not looking at fucking Slayer.
So I want you to know that Ken and I are now arguing over Doritos flavors because of this. He says that nacho cheese rule, the ranch ones can go fuck themselves, and I just said you're a fucking monster. Cooler Ranch, where it's at. No, Cooler Ranch.
I'm with him.
Yeah. Cooler Ranch is shit. You're a person.
You're shit.
If you order mozzarella sticks at a restaurant, do you get ranch?
No.
All right, you're not that much of a heathen.
No, I like ranch dressing, but I've come to like marinara more in my old age. I like excuse me, Kevin, marinara. You're from marinara. I was talking to my buddy from
that's right.
I have more than one friend from Brooklyn, as weird as it is to say, and I was trying to explain to him what a cheese curd is, because here, like, if you go to a bar and you see cheese curds, it's like deep fried cheese. Here, you can literally go to a cheese factory and get, like, when they separate the curds in whey, you can get the curds.
Right.
And it is
which you then take and fry because, again, you're not gross.
Yeah.
Like you knock on the back door where they bring out the garbage, and the guy would be like, "Oh, you're lucky. I didn't put them out yet."
No, it's basically there's a guy behind the big lots who's giving people rectal exams, and then whatever they spit out.
Not a fucking monster. No, I'll have to send you a picture next time. But I was explaining to him what cheese curds are. Yeah, my butthole. And he just kept talking about, oh, yeah, it sounds like a fresh mozzarella. And I'm like, fucking mozzarella? And he goes, no, I'm from Brooklyn. It's mozzarella. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, mozzarella.
Whatever. Yeah.
I don't say it that way.
Yeah, I was like, you sound like an idiot. I didn't tell him that because, I didn't want to upset him.
That's a New Jersey thing.
He's probably from New Jersey. I don't. It's all one big clusterfuck of buildings to me. Yeah, you can finally see out my window. You see how there's just
nothing? I do.
There's nothingness.
I saw a car drive by a while ago.
It's a state highway, so you'll see that. No one's coming to see me though.
Wasn't a car anyways. It was a really fast tractor. There's a Mountain Dew Goji Citrus. That's when you know you've achieved full bullshit. Goji and Mountain Dew.
Is that a
Goji berries? No, Goji berries. That was like a hip superfood for a while.
Oh, like acai?
I think it's acai. But yes. Yeah, I think it's I was always like, oh, it's a acai berry, and they're like, acai berry. I'm like, why are we sighing?
That's probably the same prick who's telling you how to pronounce mozzarella. You know what? Put it on the fucking white cheese.
Mozzarella. Yeah. God, I love cheese so goddamn much.
It is pretty damn good.
Hey, have you ever just sat down? Have you ever just melted cheese on a plate for a snack? Because I have.
Oh, when you make a grilled cheese sandwich and some of the cheese drips off and then it gets all black and crusty and stuff, and you're like, I'm just going to throw some more cheese in the pan and cook that shit up.
There's a company, it's out of Wisconsin. It's called Just the Cheese, and it's literally they just make planks of baked cheese. and sell it in a 2-pack. It's
I know where
fucking amazing.
And die.
What's that?
I said, now I know where I'm going to live and die.
I'm telling you, man. Cheese is plentiful here. Oh.
Oh, shit.
We on to drink number 2?
Yeah, we're on to drink number 2.
Wow, we got him through the whole Mountain Dew. That's...
Again, in honor of Pitch Black, Johnny Walker Black.
Wow.
But this is
Now, why don't you bring those two great things together?
There is still some Mountain Dew in the glass. I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Yeah, don't blame me. Please don't do that.
I feel like
disrespect the Johnny Walker
totally
like
in
that.
honor of Vin Diesel and his Fast and the Furious bullshit is that Pitch Black Mountain Dew with Johnny Walker Black sounds like the king of all fucking Fast and the Furious drinks.
This is a special bottle, though. This is the Blade Runner edition. Which is, it is
weirdo.
So it's the bottle that nobody saw?
It's the bottle that Harrison Ford holds in the movie. It's a special blend, and it is delicious. I swear to God.
I've never once seen that.
It's Blade Runner 2049.
Right. But I've seen Johnny Walker Black, but I've never seen the Blade Runner bottle. So the chances are they just never got it because
it's usually like I've seen it in one store. I got it online.
So my question to you is, how much did that bottle set you back?
This was $109.
How much is Johnny Walker Black normally?
60.
So what you're saying is the Mountain Dew was a better investment.
I don't know. But I got a pretty good deal on it. The closest store to me that has it, it's $215.
Okay, that sounds about right. Huh.
Oh, it's good. It's so smoky.
Well, Kevin came in his pants already.
There is a Mountain Dew Black Label.
Yes. I don't know what's different about it.
That's the pairing.
So Beat says that what you paid for that bottle is more than the box office of
Mountain Dew Black Label is a deeper, darker dew promotion. It will be a crafted dark berry flavored soda, and its color is reddish magenta, which is not black.
No, it's true.
No, it's like black cherry sodas. It looks black till you hold it up to a light.
Yeah. I'm going to have to find that fucking Johnny Walker.
It looks consumable until you taste it.
So I do want to throw out there, since you finally mentioned Vin Diesel. When I was in high school, and dumber than I am now, when I would go bowling with my friends. What's that?
He sold you weed.
No, God, I wish. It's not even that cool. When we would go bowling, if you had 3 strikes in a row, it was called a Vin Diesel.
Triple X.
Because he was Triple X. Yep. So if you had 3 spares in a row, it was a Spin Spiesel.
That movie is a turkey.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, my friends and I we were never cool.
How cool are you when you start a franchise and then you leave the franchise and someone picks up your spot in the franchise and then you come back to the franchise? Because he's done it twice. He's done it 2 times. He's
in what?
Furious. What was the other one?
He was in the first Fast and the Furious. Then he left, wouldn't come back for the second one. Appeared in the third one so he could get the rights back to the Riddick character to be able to make more Riddick movies. And then wound up coming back to the franchise from the 4th one on, which has gone way too long. But in Triple X, he did the first one, refused to come back for the second one, so they got Ice Cube. And then he wound up coming back for the third one, which was probably just the first one again. I don't know. Again, about as many people saw it as they did Blade Runner.
You know, there are like 3 Riddick movies?
Yes.
3 theatrical ones?
Yep. I downloaded them all after watching the first one.
And there was supposed to be a 4th one.
Like there still might be, or there was supposed to be?
They're still planning on it. He said it takes a few years, but they've announced that they are, the director, co-writer of the scripts, and him are working on a 4th one. Plus, there's the short films. There's an animated film from the person who did Aeon Flux. There's the 2 video games.
The first video game was awesome.
Was it really, or are you lying?
Escape from Butcher Bay. I'm not even kidding.
No, it's supposed to be really good.
It was a really good game.
It was originally for the original Xbox, and then they did a re-release for the 360, and it also should be on PC. And I think when they re-released it, that's when they did the second video game as well. Yeah,
you're breaking out of prison, and it's pretty brutal. Like you find a shiv, you use your shiv.
He's shivving a lot of people in these pictures. So sorry, I'm just looking at screenshots of this Escape from Butcher Bay game.
And you get the origin story of how he got those. What do they call it? The shine.
Shine on his eyes. Yeah.
That's
I usually
that's
just
right.
call that being drunk.
It's somewhere in the movie. Vin Diesel is riding around on a little fucking big wheel.
A pair of twins in the hallway.
Yeah. Beatmaster saying, yeah, the video game was actually really good. It's the first Arkham Asylum, essentially.
Oh,
Which makes sense. Yeah, I think that's part of the problem, though, is that the game was really good, and then Chronicles of Riddick came out, and it wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't successful in the theaters, but it was successful enough on DVDs, and that's what seemed to keep happening with these, is that the theater stuff, you're like, oh, I don't really want to go see that, but I'll watch the fuck out of it on home video, and so they keep coming back for more. He got a mortgage on his house to be able to get the third one made. And so if it hadn't actually finished production, he would have lost his home.
huh.
And the third one came out already?
2013.
Yeah.
Been out for a while. I don't know where you've been.
Not seeing that movie.
Yeah.
I think Katie Sackhoff is in that one, though. In the third one.
Sure.
Oh, I like her.
I don't know who that is.
Starbuck.
Yep. I don't know if that cleared anything up for Matt.
I'd Starbuck her.
Oh, God.
Oh, you wouldn't? Oh,
no, I think she's swell.
You looked up female Starbuck and not male Starbuck?
That's true. And if you need to know who male Starbuck was, it was stated on the original 18.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, I'd still do her. She's like kind of weird and shiny in some of these pictures. Why is she shiny?
She glistens.
Because she was giving somebody a rectal exam.
Oh, Kevin's gonna be crying by the time this is over. Oh boy. Well, I guess we should talk about Pitch Black, but before, since I'm actually drinking today, and I'm finally on number 3. Here's what I got. If you're watching the video, this helps. If not, whatever. It's Untitled Art. It's not by Madison. It's a 0 IBU IPA, which IBU is the International Bitters Unit. So high IBU means it tastes like you're just eating plants. So 0 is really impressive. And then here's a key lime from Untitled Art also. I just got these yesterday from a buddy when I was down in Sheboygan. And now I'm finally pouring Master of Oranges from Aslan Brewing in Washington, D.C. Kevin, that's close to you.
Sure. It's like 8 hours.
It's closer than it is to me. No, shit is, everything Aslan does is fucking amazing.
Sounds like it'd make a terrific pie.
Probably. Yeah, I have one. Did you ever watch Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they made a beer called Sweet Berry Wine. Nope. All right, you've let me down so many times today. There was I think it might have been on Tim and Eric actually, but it was when they first started to introduce Steve Brule, and he was drinking wine during the Jan and Wayne Schuyler first Married News team, and he gets real drunk, and he just, you know what, fuck this, I'm just gonna go play the goddamn thing.
Okay.
I have the technology.
A lot of people don't remember that Dr. Steve was the Simpsons to Tim and Eric's Tracy Ullman show. Hey,
That's
Jack.
a perfect analogy.
Yeah, actually, it's really good one.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I gotta share my screen so you can actually see it. Oh, let's get back here.
Will I see it here? Do I have to do anything?
No, I gotta do the internet
You have to
thing.
close your eyes and use the power of imagination.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Hang on.
I don't even like wine, but guess what? You're gonna like it. I need some cheese.
Steve, what kind of wine is that you're drinking? I can't see, hon.
Sweet berry wine. Supposed to spit it out, but no way, Jose. Am I spitting this stuff out? It tastes like fruit. Wine was invented by the Romans for orgies. And orgies are not too much fun if no one wants to do with you. Mike, you want to check on Steve real quick?
Tell him how it tastes, Steve. All right, let's do it.
Steve? Steve, are you okay over there?
There's all kinds of other wines. Peanut Noir. You got all different kinds, and that's our Shiro.
And if you're not watching this, he knocks over all the bottles of wine.
Did he say peanut noir?
Yeah, and then he pukes in the toilet a bunch.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Well, that's but yeah, that's where Sweet Berry Wine came from. And like Eric Wareheim has a wine company, I guess you want to call it, a wine line. And he made a wine called Sweet Berry Wine, and I guess it was insanely expensive and very hard to find and sold out very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because why the fuck not?
Because fans are weird, and we will obsess over anything if our favorite nighttime adult swim shows tell us to.
I have a Moonanite branded on my thigh, so I can't say a whole lot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Don't ever get a brand, Kevin. It hurts a lot.
I was talking to somebody about tattoos recently, and I thought it was pretty smart. I've never cared enough about anything for a long enough time where I would still be happy that I had a tattoo of it.
I've heard a couple of people say that. I have a lot of I have all of our pets.
That makes sense.
And then The Simpsons. And I'm gonna get a picture of Jack.
Can I draw it?
Yeah, sure. I would like it to look as possible. Oh my god. They're talking about my nutsack again. Sorry. I get sidetracked very easily when I'm drinking.
That's fine.
I guess let's talk about Pitch Black because some fuck in the chat is getting upset about it.
Oh, really?
That's Jack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said, I thought this podcast was about terror. Well, he missed the part where we were talking about your butthole and my nutsack.
Yeah, that was
pretty fucking terrifying. Fashionably late.
I listened to a whole hour of a show once where 90s Percentile didn't even get to the topic from a suggestion of a listener who I think paid money to get their topic talked about. So, Stones, you throwing them? I think I can send those right back at you.
So Pitch Black.
Who's the real robber here, Jack? Yeah, so Pitch Black is a movie about a man and some girl that wants to be that man. And then aliens. I usually make Corey recap the movie because that's about my takeaway from...
But we have a guest. We let the guest recap the movie.
Oh, shit.
After I was like, you don't have to take notes. You just show up and like make fart sounds, dude. It's cool.
So Pitch Black, it's kind of like Alien and a lot of other space movies where you've got a ship full of all sorts of people on its way somewhere, and for some reason they wake up from cryo sleep way too early, end up on the nearest planet, and there's some kind of monster there that wants to kill them all one by one. And
that is exactly... That is 100% truth. And I felt bad the entire time. I'm like, we have not done Alien yet, or any of the Aliens movies.
I'm shocked someone
on the show.
To be honest.
Yeah, and everybody should have seen Alien or Aliens. I would accept one or the other from anyone.
Yeah.
But the fact that we haven't done that, and we've done now a couple of movies that are straight up ripped from that plot, is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what makes Pitch Black different.
It's dark.
The clan shows up.
Vin Diesel's in it.
Vin Diesel is in it. It's pretty much his second movie role after Private Ryan. And
yeah,
really
he had done. He did the voice for
Iron Giant. So he's a mass murderer he's a prisoner. He's being transported, and that's why he's on the ship. But when they crash, he gets free. And what's that other guy's job? Is he like just escorting him? Is he a prison warden or something?
He announces himself as he makes it very apparent that he's a cop to Fry,
like
who is the pilot. But he turns out to not be a cop. He's actually a bounty hunter who's addicted to morphine.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so that's the thing is the character Johns, William J. Johns, keeps going around like Riddick is his prisoner, and so Fry just completely buys into everything he's saying, and then it turns out as it goes on, no, he's not a cop. He's a bounty hunter, and a lot of the stuff he's told you is bullshit. And by the way, he took all of the morphine away. So when the guy that you were all upset about was dying in pain earlier, that's because this guy said the medicine was gone. It wasn't gone. It was going right in his arm.
Ooh. I must have looked away because I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, me neither.
It's actually key to the plot of the third movie, because Riddick winds up getting chased by a few different bounty hunters in it, and one of them is Johns' dad, who wants to know what happened to his fucking son.
Is one Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yes, Dog the Bounty Hunter is definitely in that.
Fuck yeah.
But it's an actual dog who's a bounty hunter.
Well, looking at Vin Diesel's Wikipedia, did you know that they made a Fast and the Furious spinoff called Los Bandolerios? Me neither.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Is that a short? I saw it on his IMDb.
Yeah.
And the poster looks just like a Fast and the Furious movie.
Yep. So, and he plays so in 2009, he was in Fast and Furious. 2009, Los Bandolerios, which is a short film. 2011, Fast 5. 2013, Fast and the Furious 6, all playing the same character.
Toretto?
Dominic Toretto, yes. I thought
Michelle Rodriguez
you said Tom Doretto, and I was like, you just thinking about Doritos. Fuck you. That was funnier than you'll give it. Let it be.
I just wasn't laughing loud. Sorry, I forgot people can't all see us.
Shut up, Kevin. Pete wants to know if it involved lowriders. I'm
assuming, yes.
I'm assuming so, yeah. Doesn't specifically say it. He was in prison, though. Shocker. Have you ever watched any of the Fast and the newer Fast and the Furious movies?
I've only seen the first two, and it was like 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I saw like Tokyo Drift because I was trying to bang some sliz. So we're talking like at least 12 years ago, because I've been with my wife now for 10 years and she does not love Fast and the Furious.
I went to see The Italian Job one night. And
oh, yes.
Did an Italian give you a hand job?
Well, I never actually got to
Italian
see
job.
it.
Oh,
because I got to the movie theater and the parking lot was full of all these like souped up muscle cars with neon, because Too Fast, Too Furious came out, I think, the same weekend or the week after. And in Yonkers, where I'm from, every Thursday night, people would gather in a parking lot and just look at each other's car. And I guess like one Thursday, they were like, oh, hey, Fast and Furious 2 is coming out tomorrow. Let's all go in our cars. So I couldn't even park, and I had to go home.
Jack claims
The Italian Job.
Jack claims that the Fast and the Furious series is a great series and underrated. I don't know if he's playing jokes.
I would say it's rated.
It's rated.
Yeah. The people who love Fast and Furious like really love it. I made a joke about Fast and the Furious. I don't remember if it was 6 or what. It might have been the one where Paul Walker passed away, and they had to finish filming without him and stuff. And I wasn't really thinking about that part of it, but I just said this movie is all kinds of stupid. And the reactions that I got from people, my friends and family, that I had the balls, full size, to make fun of this franchise, this beloved classic, it was insane to me. Like, the fucking turning on me was just amazing. And I was so happy about it, because I was not wrong. The movies are fucking dumb. I don't say that they're not enjoyable. I like a lot of dumb movies. You just brought up The Italian Job. I love The Italian Job. Actually, the guy who directed this, David Toohey, wrote the sequel to The Italian Job, which has been in development hell for years. But every once in a while, like Mark Wahlberg's like, yeah, we're coming all back. We're going to do it again. But it's called The Brazilian Job. It is supposed to, at some point...
Is it a butthole?
But that made me feel better about this movie, finding out that guy worked on the script for that. Apparently also wrote The Fugitive.
Yes.
And Waterworld, which, if we're talking about the level of what piece of shit is, Waterworld... It's like, well, I guess I can't do anything worse than the script to Waterworld.
Did you? Waterworld's a good movie. Shut your fucking.
It's really
pie hole.
not.
No,
You're
it's a
full of
great
shit
movie.
again.
So they're already planning
Eat
on
your Cool
Fast-
Ranch.
I will fly out to that fucking house of yours and stab you
At least I'll feel you're not.
with my dick. So they already have release years for the Fast and the Furious 9 and 10, which is 2020 and 2021.
Plus, there's supposed to be spin-offs starring The Rock and Jason Statham's characters.
And I also hear that The Rock is great. Like that he makes the later movies really good. Apparently Jeff is upset. Why is Jeff upset, Jack? Did he get gunned down while trying to run into the last circle with no cover?
Have they been waiting for us to sign in?
I have no idea. Jack's in the chat. Oh, he texted me too 16 minutes ago. Or so, I'm pretty sure Jack's drunk. You won't admit it?
I think what The Rock brings to the Fast and the Furious, one, is a different character. It gave them a purpose besides just stealing cars over and over again.
I'm sorry, Corey. Jack died while playing PUBG because he was typing to us. So that's why Jeff's pissed. All right. Anyways, sorry.
what you
continue.
But Rock is definitely enjoyable. When Jason Statham shows up at the end of one of the movies, I can't remember. It might have been 5, when they killed off 2 of the characters, and it leads into what is Tokyo Drift, because chronologically Tokyo Drift comes between 5 and 6, I think.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
But they introduced Jason Statham's character because his brother was the one that they had just captured, and so he goes and he kills the guy from Tokyo Drift. People got up and cheered in the theaters, I guess, because Statham is awesome and The Rock is awesome. So introducing him into your franchise, sure, that makes sense. It's going to up the game. It's going to bring a lot more action and gravitas to it.
Jack says that's 6 and 7.
Wasn't 7 the newest one, or was that 8?
No. The newest one.
Okay.
The fate of the
Yeah,
the fate. No, was it the fate of the Furious?
Hashtag F8.
Hashtag go fuck yourself.
I will.
Not you.
Oh.
Not you. You're a delicious little man boy.
Thank you.
I also want to say that David Toohey wrote Critters 2, a movie that we've been saying that we were going to get back to someday since very early on in this podcast.
Oh, Critters. It took me a second. I kept thinking you were saying Tremors because I'm drunk, but these are things that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Beat says XXX3. All these movies that are ridiculous are going to show up tomorrow morning, and I'm going to forget why I downloaded them. So
XXX3, I remember seeing the previews for it and just being like, you can't have Vin Diesel. You can't have Vin Diesel at 40 still riding a fucking skateboard trying to pretend like that's cool. You just can't do it. It's no. Just stop it. Just fucking stop what you're doing.
Just slap him on the nose with a newspaper?
Yes. Put it and rub it in the carpet.
You do not make doo-doo on the carpet.
You make doo-doo on the big screen.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies that are doo-doo on the big screen. But, I mean, like Pitch Black, we should probably talk about
I keep wondering if we're going to.
A little more.
Corey,
you need to keep this shit on track because I will not.
Oh, man, I don't know if I really have a lot to say about this movie.
Have you mentioned the creatures?
Oh yeah.
There are creatures in this.
Beat did point out that the creatures are like the aliens are actually really cool and unique looking.
Yeah, they look like pterodactyls with anchors for heads.
Yeah. Like when he was. Oh, by the way, Kevin, we spoil everything, so don't hold back.
Well, I've seen it.
No, but I'm saying like if someone listening that you were worried.
No,
Jack says to talk about the color scheme. It was dark, a lot of black. Well, it was pitch black.
There are a few color schemes actually. There's
right.
This very washed out yellow for when it's sunshiny, because so these creatures, they only come out when it's dark, which is not a problem because this planet has 3 suns, so they're never going to come out, right? Except the day after these people land, there's a total eclipse.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Monsters can come out.
Which happens every 22 years, apparently.
Yes, according to a model that they made, like a little clockwork.
The Deus Ex Machina of my science project on a fucking desert planet.
So that's the threat. And it just so happens that Vin Diesel's character had these eye implants that let him see in the dark. So he's like their only hope now. And
I did really appreciate the fact that they gave like a reasonable explanation as to why he had these implants, like why he had his eyes tinkered with.
yeah,
It wasn't like, well, you know, I was just born this way. You know, he was like, he was
No.
never supposed to be outside of prison. He was never supposed to see the light of day. So he decided to have his eyes fucked with so that he could see in the dark.
Yeah.
But they do try to backtrack with this character later on to give him reasonings. They say that he's a Furian, like he's from some dead race of all these warrior people or something.
It's like they saw into the future and saw that he was going to be in Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. See, the thing with,
Fast and
with
the Furious
Diesel,
11 is Fast and the Furians. Oh, it's a pitch black Fast and the Furious crossover. Oh my god,
that should be great. I imagine Exhibit has
I need to
already
start
written
writing.
the hit song
Just
for it.
wrote it.
guys, I gotta go. I gotta write this script.
But yeah, so the thing about Vin Diesel is he's a nerd. He's a gaming nerd. He's a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, and he's very proud of that. And I think that's
Sweet
great.
rules.
What's that?
Very muscly.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he
yeah,
is.
he's exactly like every other Dungeons and Dragons gaming nerd. He's big and muscular and got a deep gravelly voice and full of testosterone. That's all of us, baby. You know, we all fit that description to a T. And none of us eat Cool Ranch Doritos and
Pour
drink
some-
Mountain Dew.
pour some maple syrup on them.
But so his ideas of the development of this character is to go more into that. That's why Riddick became so important. It's a cool character in this one movie, but the whole legacy stuff of like seeing it continue on to the Chronicles of Riddick and then the Riddick games and all these other things is because this is his D&D background of what he wants to be able to play up on screen. You know, before he got the opportunity to play a giant tree, this was his superhero.
That's a good point.
Which is fine, but
Yeah.
it is like it goes from, oh, there's a perfectly good explanation and it fits his character in this movie as to why he's got these eye implants that lets him see in the dark, but it also comes with the weakness of he has problems seeing the light. But after this, it's like, well, what else can we give him? What else can we make him do? How's this going to explain? And like, I think that's the second movie goes so far away from what this movie was that I think that turned a lot of people off. But then they tried to get back closer to this in the third movie, and I expect the fourth one will probably be more of that. Because in the second one, it ends with him becoming the ruler of these people and shit, and that doesn't seem like Riddick at all.
Well, thanks for fucking ruining it.
I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Fuck you for watching it. All right, so here's something else.
Okay.
In this movie, we in the different people of the ship, we've already talked about Fry, who is the pilot, who in the moment of the ship's gonna explode if I don't get rid of all this extra weight, some of the extra weight I'm willing to get rid of is every fucking other person on here. So that's her journey, is she's got to deal with the fact that she was prepared to kill everybody, and the other person that's on the ship with her overrides her and then dies. So no one really has to know that she was going to make that decision. We know John's the bounty hunter / cop. We have Imam, who is Keith David's character, who is a very religious, somewhat Muslim-esque character, I guess, in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of Muslim stuff in this movie.
Trying to get to a Mecca planet.
Yes, exactly. And if this had been made like 18 months later, I don't think you would have mentioned the Muslim stuff.
It would have been, but then there's 3 young Muslim guys that are with him that are all just nameless, voiceless cannon fodder.
Yeah,
which is not exactly very endearing to representation of these people. It's like, hey, well, at least we got some good-hearted Muslims in the dead. And what about that guy? Oh, dead. And this guy, dead. Just like repeatedly, we've got 2 pilgrims in Zeke and Shaza. Zeke gets off pretty quick. And then we've got Jack.
yeah.
And I know that they were going for a look that was basically like the young guy from the first Matrix movie. But did anybody look at Jack in that first moment and think that was actually a guy? because
I
it was
did.
some big mystery for this entire movie. And I'm like, that. I just felt like Jack was a tomboy who was just given a boy's name or went by a boy's name, but it never occurred to me that she was actually supposed to be a boy the whole time.
Well, she's a girl pretending to be a boy because she thinks it'll get her a better chance of.
Yeah, I love
Mark.
Victor Victoria. I Tootsie was my jam in the 80s, but I just didn't actually buy into it. And so when it's this big revelation of, oh, well, they're after her, and they all look over at Fry, who's the only woman left at the time. It's like, no, not her. And everyone's like, oh, why didn't you tell us? Did you not see me peeing sitting down in the fucking desert over there? I pee sitting down.
So I needed something answered for me here, because when I saw this in the theater, the creatures follow you based on the scent of blood, and Riddick says she's bleeding, that's why they're following her. Not her. When I saw it in the theater, I thought he meant she was having her period.
I believe that is.
I think that's what it is. Bears can
yeah.
smell the menstruation.
Oh, because when I watched it this time, I was like, oh, she was cut.
No,
So
that's.
that is
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
exactly
I
what
figured
it
it
is.
would have been
It's
the
like-
other way around. When you were
Because
6, thought she
if
was
he
cut.
would have just said Jack's bleeding, then I would have. Well, yeah, Jack's bleeding.
Oh, if it's Jack Picone, yeah.
We all got a little scraped up, but
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it was she's bleeding because it's established early on when Riddick's still tied up and got the blindfold on and everything that he has heightened senses beyond just the being able to see in the dark because he can pick up smells and all these other things around them. So I guess that's got him so tuned in that he's picking up that Jack's a girl because everybody else is fucking fooled.
Right.
And he himself knows that she's menstruating or something, or because he's just been sneaking around like all the times at the beginning of like, oh, we got to be careful of Riddick. Riddick's around here somewhere, and he's just sitting there sunning himself behind him.
Yeah.
Like not even trying. Like I know that he's not supposed to be able to see in the daylight, but you're looking right fucking at him through these slats in this wall. He's cutting off Fry's hair and sniffing it like the Thin Man from Charlie's Angels, but the bounty hunter can't fucking spot him. Must be really good morphine.
Oh boy.
So the night I saw this movie, I almost got in a lot of trouble.
Oh damn it! I was hoping you were going to say you almost touched a boob.
Well,
That's why.
Oh boy.
so I went with no, I didn't really almost touch a boob.
Damn it.
So I was 16. I saw this with two of my
Someday,
friends,
Kevin.
Mark and Ron.
Well, Kevin, when a man and a woman love each other,
We've been over this.
shoot.
So Mark and Ron were each there with a date, and they were friends with each other, the two girls. And the two girls brought a third friend, not like for me, but they just brought their friend Andy along. And a girl, just like Jack. And so they were paired up, and then I sat next to Andy. And I was kind of a movie snob at the time.
Shocker.
But you saw Pitch Black, so that
Yeah.
doesn't weigh out well for you.
Because I thought it looked stupid, but at the time I didn't understand. Like, no, you go see horror movies with a girl.
Yeah.
Because then when they get scared, like they'll hug you or whatever.
And then you finger bang him in the theater.
So I ended up really enjoying the movie, and then afterwards it was like, oh, let's all go to Mark's house. And so the four of them piled into.
But
Ron's
what-
basement.
Were Mark's parents there?
He had a basement, so it was one of those things where it was like,
But his parents
Hey,
were
Mom,
home, so
going
it was
downstairs.
cool. Yeah, his parents were there, so it's cool. You had the okay to be down in Mark's basement.
oh yeah. Thing is, I didn't know the way to Mark's house, so I was like, Ron, I'll follow you. And before I could even turn on the ignition, he had just pulled away like as a goof.
Ron's a dick.
Yeah, Ron. Fucking A, Ron. Do you still talk to Ron?
I saw him at the reunion. He's really, really nice.
Yeah, but then he
I hate
like,
Ron.
he
You're
grabbed
just
the
throwing it out
body
there.
and just took off with it. You know,
Yeah.
nobody from the rest of the funeral procession could follow him. And
Thanks. This is before cell phones. This is before GPS. Ron, you're a dick.
That's important because Andy and I got really, really, really lost. And
So you finger banged her in the street?
no, she
Oh.
she was getting really nervous. She was like,
So you finger
biting her tail.
finger blasted her in a parking lot?
No, I don't think we had any physical contact at all.
Just-
Um,
he just
he
wanted
dropped
to-
her off in a dark alley and said, You'll get finger blasted by somebody, but not me.
Someone will tickle that tuna.
After about an hour, I finally figured out where the movie theater was and got back there. And Ron had a cell phone, but I didn't know the number. So the best I could do was call my own answering machine at home and see if he had left a message. And he had. It was like, Kevin, it's Ron. Where the fuck are you? Andy's mom is freaking out. Here's my phone number. Call me.
Oh,
so
nice. Okay.
I called his cell. He didn't pick up.
Fucking Ron.
Because he's already deep in the basement, and he's the one.
Ron is probably maybe mid knuckle deep because you're 16, so you're not getting all the way.
Well, we were 16. They were like 15. I think Andy was 14.
Oh God, now you need to stop talking about this. And I'm going to prison.
No, nothing happened. But I shouldn't.
I know nothing happened, but that's not what I'm saying.
I shouldn't have been driving at this point because it was after 9 p.m. And in New York, when you're 16, you can't do it after 9 unless you're going home from work. Then you get your senior license. You can drive.
Unless there's a chance you're going to get the finger bang of 14-year-old.
You just have to tell the cop that. And he has to.
Yeah, exactly.
You get pulled over.
I got you covered.
And you're like, hey, cop, I'm about to finger blast this chick, eh? And he's going to be like, forget about it. I assume that's how you all talk.
It is. You hear it.
Cop was also from The Sopranos.
But I was like, hey, Ron, it's me. I don't know how to find you, so I'm just going to wait here near the payphone. And so we went back and just waited in my car, and she's just absolutely not speaking to me. And then about 8 minutes later, we see this blonde lady, like very determinedly
power walking.
And Andy goes, oh my God, that's my mom. And she gets out and runs to the mom. And I'm just sitting in the car, and I see the mom like screaming at this young teenage girl, like really losing her mind on her. And the girl's really upset. So I'm like, I can't let this happen. So
no.
Did you finger blast the mom?
No. Yeah, you fucked the mom right in front of the daughter, didn't you?
Right in front of her.
Just like, I'll show you how it's done. And you're like, spit on your hand. Just.
Oh, I wish. No, I marched up towards the curb, and I started saying, hey. But
oh, no. You got scolded by her mom, didn't you?
Halfway through the second hey, I am just suddenly grabbed from behind and yanked into a moving vehicle, and the door is shut, and it's my friends. And they had just pulled up, and they saw what I was about to do, and they rescued me. They're like, her mom's a fucking psychopath. You do not want to be anywhere near that. And we went and hung out at the diner for like 90 minutes until she would lose the trail. And then I went back and got my car and never thought about that again until the other night I watched the movie.
Which is pretty much the entire plot of Pitch Black.
All right, that's Pitch Black for you guys.
Yeah.
It got dark, and the fucking creature came out and scolded a 14-year-old in front of you, and you tried to rescue her, and it was all fucked up, and your friends saved you, and they dragged you into the light.
Yep.
What day is it?
Today?
I mean, just in general.
It's Sunday right now.
I know.
April.
It's Yom Kippur.
We were talking before, it is T-minus 11 and a half hours till I have to be to work.
Oh, yeah. Well, 12 and a half. I get in at 10. Now it's 12. I didn't do the math.
How late do you stay at work?
6.
Oh, that's why you're always complaining about being at work so late. Okay, I leave. If I leave later than 7:30 from my house, like I'm upset. I like to be to work by 8. But I also leave at 4 unless something is happening.
In the morning?
Yeah.
What?
Leave by 4 p.m. after he's
there. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were hung up on the 8 a.m. part. I'm like, that's like a normal time for an adult to get to work. Not you, Mr. Big Time Movie Producer Man.
Yeah. Let me criticize you by telling you how fucking normal people are.
No, I mean,
First of all, normal people finger blast everybody. That's a random greeting.
That's how I say hi to people on Mondays. I'm like, hey, Susan, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I also make gun sounds while I just chicka right in their vagina holes.
The gun sound was the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So if you're serious about it, now if you're listening to this isn't going to help. But if you kind of like her, you do the normal pistol. But if you really like her, you give her the kill shot.
Like a gangster.
Yeah, you gang finger bang her.
I go for the reverse shocker.
Corey's got a toe in her mouth. Both pinkies
Not my
in the
toe
butthole.
either. Just
Yeah,
random toe.
it's just a foot. That's a foot
invite
cut
people
off
in.
of a body.
Towed by a hobo. That's what I like to do. I like to just take
You give her the old Tobo.
hang out by the trade tracks and see if we can't find some ne'er-do-well. Join in, and then we spit in a pot and make soup.
So, Kevin, when you woke up this morning, did you think that this is how this would go?
No.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
kind of, yeah.
Kind of, all right, cool. I mean,
He's heard the show.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you actually listened. I wouldn't listen to this show if I wasn't on it.
Of course.
You don't
No,
listen to it when you are on it.
That's what I'm saying. I would not listen to it if I was not on it.
Here's what I did.
Don't listen to it, and I'm on it.
I found the episodes where people I know were guests.
So, Jack.
And Dan.
Is Dan still alive? I don't hear from him ever.
He is. I ran into him on the street the other day. He lives a block away.
Little secret, Dan was the 14-year-old girl from the movie.
Dan is Andy. Andy
Yes.
is Dan. Dan's a woman. Or Dan's a man.
He
I don't know.
went
I don't know
from
what's more
Andy
disrespectful.
to Dan, and right in the middle there for a minute he was Dandy. And that was
Oh no. His real name is Jim Dandy.
Mm.
He's a real Jim Dandy. It
There's
sounds
one
like
character we didn't mention.
What's that?
There's one character we didn't mention.
Who?
Paris.
Paris,
Yeah.
Oh.
And I can't
the most
figure
important
out-
character.
Well, I feel like I've seen this guy, not this actor, but like this guy in a lot of movies where he's like, he gets upset if a good whiskey bottle is broken. Like, oh, pity. And he was in every trailer for this because it's like the coolest shot in the movie. So he's drinking the whole time. He's an antiquities dealer. And at one point he takes a swig of whiskey and then lights it.
Right.
But then he still dies.
Yes, because he could only spit so much.
But it doesn't kill them.
No, it doesn't. It's just he does it in that moment because so I don't even want to discuss this. The creatures are afraid of light. Light damages them. And so they're going through the desert. The eclipse has happened. They're all fucked. And so they've gathered up all the lights, A-Team style, from the ship to try to get to another ship that they found in this encampment where all the previous people from this planet have died or disappeared. And they finally figured out, oh, shit, they actually got killed. They didn't just go away in a haphazard way. So they're trying to take their power cells from the ship that crashed to this other ship to get off the planet to get someplace where they can finally get to help. In doing this, they kind of get fucked up. Paris freaks out, goes crawling off into the desert with a bunch of the light lines around him, breaks everything for everybody else. So he fucks up their entire plan. But as he's crawling out there, the lights that are wrapped around him go out, and he realizes, oh, I'm fucked. So he has what is essentially his last swig of his alcohol, and you imagine it's just like I've allowed myself to realize that I'm dead. There's nothing I can do, but he doesn't just let himself die. He basically spits it into a lighter to see what's about to happen to him. And in that moment, he's like, I was supposed to die in Paris. I've never even been to France.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing. He's basically named after a place that he always wanted to go to. But so you see the light shines, and I think it was just a scene that was done to be a cool shot in a movie trailer. I feel like sometimes there's things that happen in movies that this is strictly for the trailer. I've written a movie trailer before, like I thought that's how a movie is made. You just write the trailer and it's all these great spots, and then the rest of the stuff just falls into place after that. That's not how that fucking works. You should know because you went to film school with Jack.
I think this was used as a button in the trailer, which is that thing where like the trailer's over, you see the title, and then there's like one more moment where it's like, oh,
yeah,
that's one more reason to see this. So it was like action, 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 pitch black, February 20th.
And then all the creatures just pound in on him.
Yeah.
It was a striking scene. Did it make a lot of sense? No, but I could figure out in my head the process of a guy who's like, I'm about to die. Do I want to die not knowing what's coming, or do I want to take the second to see how fucked I really am? And then he sees he's completely fucked, and by the time he realizes it, it's over anyways.
But he doesn't kill any of them with it.
No, I don't think he could. I don't think there was
like the end of the Professional where it's like pull the pin on the grenade and
right.
At least like everybody's saved, I die.
Yeah, it's not a moment. I don't think he had it in him that even if he had a weapon that he could have tried to kill anything. I don't think that's what his character was. It was seriously, it was like, I know I'm dead, but how dead am I really going to be? Maybe it's this one moment where I do this and they all scatter. Whee! No. It's just like, nope. He'd already designed himself that he was gone. But he did it by fucking everybody else over at the same time.
Yeah.
And then there was
stunk.
Yeah, but there's two different moments where we have people try to convince other people like we should just say fuck everybody and just go on. So John does it to Riddick where he's like, hey, let's just get the fuck out of here. Screw those people. Let's just go get to the ship and then you'll be free and we can go out. And Riddick's like, haha, no, fuck you. I don't like you. So he uses Johns as a distraction for the creatures. He stabs him to get the blood out because John's like, yeah, if we get rid of Jack because she's bleeding, then they'll go off after Jack. And Riddick's like, no, I'm just gonna stab you instead. Right. And then they come and they rip him apart. But I don't understand that methodology either because it's not like they spend a lot of time hanging around that one corpse. They'll go for it, but then they're going to try to move on to the next thing.
It's going to be gone real fast.
So many of them. There is a moment where we see them all kind of fighting with each other. I think Riddick does something, and I didn't quite catch that part, where all of a sudden one of them starts bleeding, and then all of them that are up in the sky above them as they're trying to get in the cave they're eating each other, which I would have imagined they would have done in the caves and stuff that they came out of. But because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of other creatures on this planet they can go for. But then when Riddick is on the ship and Fry has made it to him and Imam and Jack are the only ones left, but they're in a cave somewhere, Riddick's like, let's just go. Let's just leave them. And Fry has a really hard time because she knows it's already been revealed that she would have let everybody die before. And she's come along in this journey. She's like, I'm not gonna let them die. I will give up my life for them. And Riddick is like, cool. I think it was just like he was fucking with her to see what she would do to determine whether or not she was a good person. Now, I had seen this movie probably 15 years ago or so when it was on cable after its first release, certainly before the next one came out. And I always thought at the end when Fry and him are together that he was basically turning on her is like, I'm getting rid of you because you would have let me die. And so you never would have saved me. So I'm not going to save you. I'm going to use you to distract the creatures while I get back to the ship. I misunderstood what happened in that scene. And seeing it this time, I saw, no, there's a moment where she's like trying to save his life and they're together. And she's like, I'm not going to die for you. So let's go. And she's saving his life, but she doesn't intend to die. But then there's a moment where he's looking at her. They're basically hugging each other. And she gets stabbed through by the tail of one of the creatures. And it just pulls her off. And I'd always misunderstood that like he used her to protect himself from the creatures. But no, in this case, I realized that it was just random. It wasn't intended. But she sacrificed herself for him and for everybody else in the end, which is a good arc for her character.
Sure.
Because she doesn't, with what she did, there were other people that were on the ship that did get ejected or were gone. One of them showed up and one of the guys thought that he was Riddick and shot him from behind. And he's like, oh, you're not Riddick at all. Well, but he was one of the people that was from the group. And they're like, oh, there were other people. Not really mentioned. It's like the front of the plane on Lost.
Yeah, the tail section.
We'll get to them in the second season.
Else, yeah. And Jack makes it to the sequel, I believe.
Jack does. She gets a different name in it, but she is in there.
And it's a different actress.
It is a different actress. I guess the person who played Jack in this did play Jack in the video game. So I don't know why they didn't have her return for the other movie.
Didn't want to shave her head twice, probably.
I guess. And I don't know that she did a lot of other stuff outside of the first Pitch Black. I don't know if she went on to be in a lot of other movies and stuff. But whatever the reasoning, so she comes back, and Keith David's character comes back for the second one as well.
I don't remember him. I could swear he died. I don't think I was really paying attention when I rewatched this.
I don't know if it's worth paying attention to that second
Definitely
one. Other than
wasn't paying attention the first time.
Judi Dench and Carl Urban are in the second movie, and so they bring something to it that it otherwise doesn't deserve.
Judi Dench didn't even leave her house when she was filming it, I don't think.
Yeah, she was basically like Marlon Brando in The Island of Dr. Moreau, where she wouldn't wear pants the whole time.
You guys are cute.
You're right there, Matt.
Yep.
I'm just looking at my cat. She just woke up.
All my dogs are in the other room. If I make any sort of sound, they'll bark and lose their goddamn minds. I did think of something I was going to ask you before, and then you guys kept talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, but Kevin,
sorry,
instead of going to film school, why didn't you just flush like 50 grand down the toilet?
50? Oh, only 1 year at school?
One semester?
Oh my God. And I felt bad that like both of my degrees, so my student loans are 50 grand. And that was like a degree and a half. So, all right.
I am happy to say that every job I've had since getting out of school has been related to what I learned, or to
so what
I
is
studied.
What's Jack doing wrong that he's not?
God damn it!
Well, he still kind of is.
I actually don't know. Like, he never talks about what he does. I just know he's.
Then I won't do it for him, but it is related to what we studied.
I know that he works at a film school.
Yes.
Or he works at a school. Okay.
Yeah.
I tried and I was like, Jack, let's make a porn company. And he's like, no, my dick is too hairy. None of that actually happened.
Yeah. First of all, that is the selling point.
Yeah. Like, there has to be a fetish for fluff dick porn.
Oh, there is.
Fluff dick porn.
I think.
Are you going to reread the Pornhub categories again, Matt?
I could. That did happen a couple weeks ago.
That was the
I'm
high
not going
point.
to do it again. Like, then I'm going to get a boner and I'm going to have to pound one out on the show.
Yeah, see, there's a variance in RedTube or something anyways.
You guys are just going to talk about the movie and there's just going to be in the background.
You can't say that you haven't fallen asleep during some of our episodes before anyways. So
I've like 3/4 tuned out just to see if my name comes up.
Yeah.
That's about it. I surf the internet.
Feels genuinely similar. Man, what else does really need to be said about this? The interplay of the characters feels like I've seen this too many times. I've seen this a lot of times. It's like a bunch of people all have varying. It's every survival. If we go back to the ship that, what was the movie about the cruise ship that flips over?
Titanic?
What's that?
Poseidon Adventure.
Poseidon Adventure.
I was like, he has a real answer. I just said Titanic.
Titanic.
Yeah. I guess Titanic to a certain degree too.
Yeah, you're teaming people up that hate each other and that each have like one character trait.
Right.
And they help each other get through.
And you can tell there's a couple of people who have actual skills and the rest of the people that are just fodder, so you can get more dialogue out until they die in their own pathetic way. And that's a lot of sci-fi and horror movies too. So that's essentially what this is. And then the creatures are the addition beyond that. The only thing that I think stands out in this is the Riddick character because of his special abilities. Because you involve somebody who's your action star and give him a couple extra traits to make him even cooler. And that's what elevates it to people who are going for what is otherwise a pretty standardized genre film, which is not bad. It's just, it's not exactly special, but it seems like it's perfectly suited to be that sort of sleeper hit from 2000 when it came out. That,
yeah, it was a very, very small movie. It feels low budget, but Still,
But it
it's
doesn't
pretty.
look particularly low budget.
No, it's clever. Like Jack said, with the color scheme.
Yeah.
Like it takes a point of view for sure.
Do the other two follow the same color scheme, or do they kind of give up on it a little bit?
No, they give up on that entirely.
Well, the sunshine of the second movie, I remember that movie being really yellow as well, because there was just such a massive amount of heat that was going on at certain points. But I think when I saw this, I remembered the Underworld movies. And the reason why I can never sit through the fucking Underworld movies is because it's just a blue filter the entire time to represent night, and it makes my eyes bleed with trying to stare at it for more than 10 minutes. Like, God damn it, just stop it. And that there were 6 of those or however many, oh Jesus. But
speaking of making your eyes
varied it out. Yeah, go ahead.
You could buy the contact lenses when the movie came out.
Yes.
There was a product name for them.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, look it up.
It was called "You Have Too Much Money, Goth Kid."
There's a lot that showed up. The color view, pitch black Riddick 15mm coloring contact lenses. How to insert black sclera.
That sounds painful.
Yeah,
no, that sounds like a Mountain Dew flavor.
Huh. Sclera seems to be the. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. There's just.
Maybe you can get them used on eBay.
You can buy them like brand new. The company Sclera is the one that makes them.
Yeah, because it's at first the development of the product is the tough part and where all the money goes into, and then it becomes easy to mass produce it. And so it's like, and then you get a dozen cheap knockoffs after that.
Yeah, 20 years later.
Yeah.
Put a cheap knockoff in your eye.
Yeah, it's a lot of the effects and stuff in Hollywood. It's like, oh, this was a big deal. The first time we saw Bullet Time, is like, holy shit, this is amazing. And then it shows up in every other fucking movie for the next 5 years, and you're like, the fuck, you're really giving me more Bullet Time bullshit? But still, it was a huge effect one time, and that's the hard part, is trying to innovate to do something new, or at least seemingly new, using something in a new way. And so the filters and stuff that they did in this, which I also, different from Underworld, they try a couple different ones because there are 3 suns, and I feel like each sun had sort of its own tone. So when one sun isn't up there and another one is, it changes, and then when it goes to night, they go with a different filter entirely. That made it stand out compared to just something that it's like, here's your one tone for the entire planet.
And then
like,
there's also
Mars
Alien
movie.
Vision.
Yeah, the Alien Vision stuff was actually
sonar
cool.
kind of, yeah.
Which I don't remember if Daredevil came out before that or after that, but
had to be
probably before. I don't know.
Daredevil was 03.
Oh, maybe.
I'm looking. I'm down. 2003. Yeah, I'll be damned. Film school paid off.
Look at that. Yeah. Sure.
That's where you know you've earned it.
I literally have nothing to say about this movie. I thought it was decent. It was good enough that I will watch the other 2. Oh, that's a cat.
Yeah.
Sweet pussy you got there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go get my dogs. I do have to pee real bad, though.
Sure. Sit together.
Is that what?
Adorable.
That's Olivia.
It is, okay.
Now she's
Oh, God.
Yeah, she's like, God,
Olivia, that's wonderful.
fucking A, Kevin. Or she's like, oh, man, why you making me look like an asshole on that?
Yeah.
Yep. Look at that.
There we go. She doesn't want to play.
They're just showing her butt on the internet. That's weird.
I will say my favorite Vin Diesel movie, other than Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think is just a great movie overall, and Vin Diesel is such a small part of. But right after this, maybe about a year or 2, was Boiler Room.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, that is a great ass movie. That's what it's made me nostalgic for. Is like, I don't give a shit about Fast and the Furious or any of the other stuff that he's doing, Man Apart, whatever. But Boiler Room, that movie was the shit.
Glengarry for finance, basically.
Yeah, made fucking
Sounds riveting.
made Ben cool too. It's like Ben's whole speech in that was so good.
So do you want to rate this? or how do you want to handle this? Because I'm about to piss myself. So you two either need to talk for like 2 minutes so I can go pee, or
I'm ready to rate it.
Yeah.
thank you for making a decision. You're a decision man. I like that.
Yeah. It's really not a very good movie, but it is actually a very entertaining movie.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of fun, I give it a high rating. What are the
0 to 5?
What's the A? I give it a 5 in fun.
Well, so we stopped doing. You must have listened to a very old episode. We just do straight 0 to 5 across the board because I got sick of having to explain what all the letters meant.
Oh, then total is a 2.5.
It's not bad. How about you?
Yeah, 2.5 I think is a pretty solid, fair rating for it. It's not a work of genius. The acting is okay throughout. It's pretty standard. I think there are parts that it does well at, and other parts where it's like, ah, shit, this again. But I agree. It's not something that is like you're flipping through the channels and you just like get that off my screen as fast as possible.
So you're agreeing 2.5?
2.5.
Well, I gave it a 3 simply because I didn't want to sound like I was being a dick about it. I thought you two would have given it a much higher score.
That's where you draw the line?
No, that was just today. I was trying to impress Kevin. It's his first time on. We're still like, we're kind of new friends. And I don't want him to be like, wow, this guy's kind of an asshole. Because a lot of times when we're together via the internet, Jack and Jeff just want to sit and talk about video games. I just want to ask Kevin how his day was. I never get the opportunity to be like, hey, what's up, Kev? How was your day, brah? So
I'll tell you what. Next time you want to know how my day was, ask me what kind of weapons I'm carrying. So we're in the middle of the game, and you're like, hey, Kev, what rifles you got? And I'll be like, it was good, thank you.
Oh, my God. I really hope I remember that because I have a terrible memory. I used to do a lot of drugs.
And I'll ask you, hey, have you found a helmet yet?
I'll be like,
oh, man.
She's
doing great, thanks.
That's you're pulling the ear on Carol Burnett. That is.
So my wife is a helmet? Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm getting out of this?
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna probably go hang out with the old helmet after this, anyways. So I like that.
It was a great helmet. I would probably just ask you in the context of the game who you're finger banging behind the dune. So
I'd be like, well, we don't need to bring my mother into this.
Need to bring this into your mother.
Oh no!
You opened with it.
Shirley's a saint. Oh, my mom forever unclean.
Well, if you happen to be Matt's mom, you can contact us by leaving us a voicemail at 805-326. Oh, sorry, 328-3966. 805-328-3966. I used to do this all the time. Email us at pot@gncast.com or leave us a message on the website. You can follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're at Podcast Terror in all of those places. And you can subscribe via some technology that is on your phone, more than likely. Remember when iPods were like non-phones? Man, that's when this technology was around.
I do. And you know how much those things are worth? If you have an iPod, if you have an iPod Classic, one of the bigger ones, in good shape, they're worth hundreds of dollars.
I have the U2 one.
They're worth hundreds of dollars, which is what they were worth when you bought them originally. I know, right? That they retain value is good, but useless.
I remember like a 160 gig iPod being worth like 400. Yeah,
which again I feel like is about what it cost when it came out.
I don't remember that I don't think that they were that when they got that big. I don't think they were that much, but I think when they first came out, they were that much.
Probably around there.
Remember?
But that can't listen to us because it doesn't have an app. Although I think you just downloaded it. I remember when I used to download podcasts and burn them onto CDs, listen to in my car because my smartphone was a fucking Microsoft piece of shit.
Oh,
thanks, work. You know what? You can leave us a review. I really probably don't want to say this to you based off of this episode, but if you go to bit.ly/pot review, if you're feeling spry, let those fingers fly. High scores are great, but you don't have to lie to other people. You don't have to be that guy. All subscription options and links can be found at gncast.com/subscribe. And you can join the Facebook group under Galactic Network.
I think this is a part where I talk.
It is.
But I was reading what Jack was saying because I love Jack McCone. You can give us money. We like money in the form of American currency. You can go to Amazon.podcastterror.com, shop like you normally would. I stole this bit from Wii Studios.
Much like our guests.
Much like literally 90% of the show. Kevin, do you want people to find you on the internet?
Yeah, I don't really use Twitter, but on Instagram, I'm half slices. As in, like, you feel like pizza, but...
You only want a half slice?
Yeah.
Why?
Plural.
Why would you only eat half of one? And especially if it's plural, that's a whole goddamn slice.
Yeah, but maybe you want, like,
mind.
three
you
half
wanna
slices.
Trick yourself that you're eating less.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or you're eating more, but it's actually not more. Or, Kevin, you want to tell us what your PPO is or your
health
your
insurance
doctor plan? Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So if someone
like,
recommends a new doctor for you who's maybe a little bit gentler.
Yeah, one that won't finger your asshole because your guts hurt.
Yeah, I'm now with United Healthcare. I
Or
think
one
I
who
was with
firmly
something
plant
else
his
at the
hands
time.
on your both shoulders and
He didn't do that even.
Wow. Did he? Wow.
Oh wait, no, yeah, both hands is a problem.
that's right.
Just, he didn't want you to move when you squeal like a pig. Corey,
Right.
where can people find you on the internet?
I feel like I've been a dirty liar because the last couple of weeks I've talked about this other show that I started. And
Eventually, you'll have an episode too. I know how it is.
I've been told that this Tuesday we're gonna do an STFU. I'll believe it when I hear it.
Well,
But
I hope so,
if
one of
you
your co-hosts is on our show next week.
oh sure. Yeah, you know what, man? STFUcast.com. You can also go to elsenerds.com. That's another show that I do. Because what you're really saying is, I need more Corey in my ear holes. No, you're not. I heard you. You don't try to build me up. Don't make promises like a 14-year-old in a car in the middle of New York.
What is happening? She was 16.
No, she was 14.
Oh, she was 14. I missed that part of the story. Holy
Yeah, I kind of
shit.
feel like
I
I'm
was
on her mom's side on
16.
this one.
Okay, you were 16. All right. I knew I heard
Right.
16.
Yeah.
And then I got just full mast. Pitch a crooked tent.
And I looked exactly the same too.
I'm sure you did. How old are you?
34
Oh, okay.
and a half.
How old Jack? 50?
I think he's 11 months younger than me.
Jesus Christ, way to be so fucking specific.
So he's 33 and a
It's like
third.
approximately.
Yeah, Jack
Just for the record.
emotionally is
Here.
75, but
I'll turn 35 in May. He'll turn 34 in June.
oh,
I
okay.
think,
Okay.
you know.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what he said. 34
Jack
in
just said 34 in June.
June. He's busy playing PUBG, probably trying not to piss off Jeff, whatever the fuck his name is.
Matt, where can people find you? In the bathroom?
Yeah, I'm literally like squeezing my dick right now. Twitter and Instagram and Untapped at the Lifeguard. Whatever. That's
I'll see Olivia again.
Yes.
Oh, this is my cat, Olivia Dunham.
Oh,
Such a cute cat, man.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Whoa!
Whoa! Oh,
Oh God, she's in the cable. It's gonna knock over. It's gonna knock over a
She was
glass.
peeing. Plus, now it looks like she's got a massive dong.
oh, God. Secure the pussy. Secure the
Okay.
pussy. All right, cool.
Okay.
Is she named after Lena Dunham or?
No, she's named
Jeff
after the character on Fringe, Olivia Dunham.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she had a brother named Peter, but he died.
Oh my God.
Named after the Joshua Jackson character.
Are you guys gonna keep this going for a minute?
We just want to hear the tape
really
happen.
have to pee.
You got 3 empty beer cans. Make use of something.
I thought about it.
We'll wrap it up, Matt. How about
But we don't have to. I mean, I don't want to like force this to end. I was just gonna go pee and come back with the dog. I mean,
No, if you ever have me back, I'll tell you more about the cats. He's
I
not gonna...
just really wanted your just blank
So
fucking stare for
that
a
was
minute.
a little threatening in the way that you said that. That was ominous.
Ah,
If you ever have me back, I'll tell you about the cats.
Oh, we'll have you back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Next week, as I mentioned, Brandon Raymond, one of the hosts of STFU, is going to be on. Not 100% sure what we're watching. I think we're going to try and do A Quiet Place, but it all depends on if Corey can get to a theater. If not, we'll find something else because this is America. But
that movie's great, by the way.
It's a very good movie. I wouldn't mind actually going to see it again, so I wouldn't be upset if we decided to do that. But that's to do it for another episode of the podcast here. Oh my God, it hurts. We will talk to you guys next week.
Matt's peeing, everybody.
All right, I'm going to stop the YouTubes here. Kevin, you don't have to leave quite yet. I'm just going to stop YouTube. But
no, I have to pee almost as bad as you. I'm just better at hiding it.
Nope, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Thanks,
By the way, thank you, everybody who hung out with us.
Yeah, thank you, Beat, Jack,
Really
Growly. There's a fourth person who didn't say anything, but thanks everyone for hanging out. And yeah, we'll be back next week at the same time.